All right, it is day 2 at Bradenton for the Pro Superstar Shootout. So, beautiful day at the track. Hoping to get some good runs in here and, hey, see what happens. But it's a glorious day. All right, so we had a good pass yesterday on it. So, did everything we wanted to do. So, I mean, that's where we're going to go out there this morning. Hopefully, it'll do exactly the same thing. Just we fix a couple of spots in the tune-up to try and get it just a little faster to the 8. You got to watch because, like, I mean, a fuel track's not the same as the tracks that we're used to working on. So, like, you can't just apply exorbitant amount of power and then the track's going to hold it. I mean, it'll spin the tires. So, which is different than what we usually do because normally we can just apply power on the tracks we're going to wherever we want and it'll pull the front end up and go. So we can't do that. So incremental gains, just trying to see what we can do, push that to the 8th again and just see if we can get those numbers where we want them and kind of set it up. We have enough passes going on that we don't have to go for the hero pass or whatever like right away. So we're just trying to incrementally go into it and see what happens. So, but all good so far. Hopefully another good day today. It's a beautiful day. We're in Florida. It's not snowing, so can't go wrong. Aussie. You can't get them to do anything. Good. We'll probably go left lane again. Seems like there's a little more rubber in the left lane, so see what happens.
to that last one.
That's melted. That's melted.
Look at that, you can see all it's all torched.
Something leaned out that cylinder. Either an injector failed or something to where that cylinder went mean and popped. So more than likely the piston, but we'll see. It's all melted right there. Definitely went hot, backfired through there because the whatever. Fire and heat hit this. To pull the data log, it's probably that cylinder is probably super hot. Or was.
Brand new. No idea, mate. It's got a bit of metal on this side, but there's no telltales. A little bit of aluminium on the number 8 cylinder. So it looks like we got an injector failure. Number 1 cylinder. Burnt. It hasn't burnt the plug, it's something's broken here. It hasn't fizzed it. The strap and everything's still there.
So we don't know what happened. I mean, obviously it got the plug. All the data looks like it's good, but taken apart, I mean, definitely definitely must have hurt the piston. But there's also a problem with the valve because this valve's coming up way high. So there's something with the cylinder head. But you take it apart and see what it looks like, and yeah, assess it from there. We don't have another cylinder head, so obviously it puts us in a predicament with that part of it once we figure it out. So.
Do we have a longer one of these? Haven't you?
We didn't have the right Allen. So Bert was like, if you just get a bolt and you put 2 nuts on it, that makes yourself an Allen. I've never tried it, but it works pretty good.
We went to Orlando. We were one of the stop-off points in Bombay. I didn't think they would have class for this race. They don't really. It was just going to be an exhibition.
We found a bit of piston. That was an exhaust, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we're trying to line it up with something that's the same shape on a... Nothing similar, unless it's been bent. Probably bent. Might be inside, might be an inside edge. It's with a radius there, Possibly.
Depending on how many times it's been retorqued,
Up and down, up and down.
a little bit to where it's fighting
Yeah.
and slide across the studs.
Down at the back.
I've got
Oh, she's on this. Got it? Yep.
Just trying to figure out like what, I mean, obviously that's the damage, but what caused the damage. Gonna assume one of the valves broke. Don't know, like, obviously, I mean, we had those test passes prior to sick week where we did get it up on the chip with braking stuff, and don't know if that's the long-term effect from it, but I mean, there's no valve spring broke or anything like that. Very very similar situation that we had happen at Sick Week a couple years ago when we dropped the valve, like driving down the road, like 10 minutes from the track. So, yeah. So.
I don't want to scratch the head up.
Bubble line? We're looking for a head of a valve. Didn't see it come out, so it might have gone up into the intake because the exhaust dropped first and it's had a bit of a party with the intake. The intake's done itself a bit of mischief and jammed itself sideways. So if we can find it, we'll be happy. Because then you don't know where it is.
I'm not really sure how you're going to do valve though.
There's definitely lots of bits in there, but the intake doesn't look.
At least it didn't damage the intake, that's fucking one thing.
Right on. Taking the whole thing out.
Heavier than I am.
You got it? Drop in one. Pulling rod and piston out. Gonna give it a bubble hone and thrash that in, and we just have to get the cylinder head repaired. We can't do it tomorrow, so at least we can put the bottom end back together and clean it all, put it back to bed until the head's ready. Get the oil pump serviced as well.
You got the 3/8 ones, right?
No, I haven't.
Bearing, how's okay? You got the top half?
Shell.
Try not to ruin the gasket. There we go.
All right, so on that pass, it dropped the valve, go back through. I mean, the valves have been in there since after drag week 22, that set of valves. So not a lot of street miles on them, a lot of short hits, a lot of stuff with all the testing. Decent amount of hitting the chip, like when we break different stuff. I'm not sure like if any of that stuff contributed to it or not. I mean, all springs were good. Springs have been replaced and stuff too. So that's it. I mean, chewed the head up pretty good. We're assuming that the intake valve is somewhere in the dirt over next to the track because it went through the turbo. So we're pulling everything apart to get everything freshened up. I mean, there's no fixing it here. I guess like if we're in a competition, then I mean, there's stuff you could do. I mean, we got extra pistons and rods that you could put in it, and I mean, everything could be okay. It wouldn't be 100%, and I mean, I'm sure we could find somewhere that would weld up the head, and I mean, we got other valves, so to try and get all that stuff done. But obviously, with the situation here, where we're basically just making exhibition runs, it just makes sense to take it apart and get it fixed the right way, and get it back together, and then get some more testing in it. It's It's a bummer to a degree, but I mean the car's going straight, everything's going good, and that's just, I mean, that failure is just part of the game. So I mean that is what it is. Yeah, that's it. Guess that's a wrap on it. We'll just get this stuff tore down, put it in bins, and we're gonna leave the car down here and get everything fixed, bring it back down, get it together. Not sure how long that will be before we can get back down again. Try and get some more passes on it before the weather gets warm up north, and just see where we're at. Trying to push to get all the issues sorted out with it, and rather than wait till the last minute like we usually do. Yeah, there's worse ways to end the day than watching some nitro cars at night at the finish line, 1,000-foot mark as they go by. Last night we experienced the starting line. Tonight we're going to watch the finish line.